What's going on, guilty guys and gals? Welcome back to Straw 2. I believe Nikke is about to tell us about monorails, so that should be interesting. I really have no idea where this is going, but I'm excited to see. Oh, I just thought of an incredible solution. What is it, Nikke? The monorail! We have the monorail that goes around each department in that Satsuki land. If they used that, it would take around 5 minutes from each department to department, and as a plus, they wouldn't be seen either.
Oh, that's right.
The monorail. Sure, you can use the monorail to move without being seen and save time as well. Was it really possible for the culprit to use the monorails? This is the part in the case that I would be, like, sad about, because this is gonna deal with the super complicated monorail schedule, and I am just not there for that. Nikke, I'm afraid that's impossible. Oh, how come? It's definitely a possibility. No, by the theory we're going with, the culprit must have moved the corpse between 5:25 and 5:55. If you see the monorail timetable, you'll quickly see the monorails weren't active at that time. What? Really?
Monocro did say that the monorails were only active every other hour.
That's probably right. I was at Satsuki Land early for the 6 o'clock parade, but I don't recall seeing any monorails pass by.
Monorail. That's all you got to say? We know what it is, Shobai. Yeah, that's right. Nosy, you said it. She used the monorails. What? But didn't Sora just say... Nosy? What a name for DK. Shut up and listen. First, she leaves the pool at 5:25 and moves the pieces to Department C monorail station. Shouldn't take long, right? She'd be moving with the same department. She then leaves the corpse there and uses Setsuka's handbook to call out Airhead Girl to the Mia Mansion. Poor Iroha.
I'm sorry.
Then the old assist moves to the ghost house at Department A to deliberately be seen entering the ghost house by Bubblehead Girl. She did it on purpose? Why would she do that? To create a witness. Probably to accuse Ibiki as the culprit in the trial. And we actually did so in the beginning of the trial based on Iroha's account.
Wait, what did you all think of me when you heard Bubblehead Girl?
I mean, you are bubble-headed after all. This feels like pick on Iroha the trial. Also, that's the first time that sprite's ever shown up. Mikado, why are you picking on Iroha? Why don't you pick on someone your own size, you worthless masked man criminal? Go kill yourself. Okay. My broken heart. My heart will not go on. Would you shut up for one damn second? I'm trying to focus. Damn it. First, 5:55, the old assist enters the ghost house to cut the fuse and put off the fire to make the blackout. Ghost house dark, same difference. Y'all know what I meant. Next, she has to hurry, because there's another gate record only 2 minutes after she entered. Since she used Setsuka Chibukuro's handbook when she entered, she uses her own when leaving the place. This way, two in outputs get recorded. She leaves no sign she ever left the place. Y'all saw the parade together at 6 o'clock, right? The littler shit goes to see that, while the little shit goes to Department A's monorail station. The monorail will start moving at 6 o'clock, so she rides it from Department A to C. I like that inserted from. That'd be me if I was doing this. I'd be like, damn it! He carries the body parts back to Department A through the monorail. This way, you'd be able to solve both the time and stealth issue. Dun, dun, dun. Amazing! It looked to be impossible at first, but now we have a clear grasp of what actually happened. And so, what next? Go on. There's not much left after this. Hide the body parts somewhere near the ghost house. After confirming that white hair over there left at 7:36, go inside the ghost house with the body. Here you again use Setsuka Chibukuro's handbook at the gate. Since they used Setsuka's handbook when first entering the ghost house, this time the resulting output would be an out record. Exactly. Everything left is simple. Set up the corpse at the altar and create the pools of blood. Using the blood packs. Then it's finished. The newly reformed ghost house, now with an actual corpse. Now the ghost house gate records up until this point can be summed up to this. Do do do. Do do do. Okay. How is it? This is the result of this case. Kanade Otonokoji is the culprit, and Hibiki Otonokoji as the evidence. You mean accomplice? I mean, I guess she's technically the evidence to Kanade's crimes. That can't be.
Honestly, if we consider Shobai's usual behavior into account, it's hard to trust him, but it's logically sound. His reasoning is perfect. Kanade? Are you really the culprit? Did you really murder Suka? And I helped you without any knowledge of it? Oh, what should I do? I don't know what to do. Sis, don't cry. That beardy hag is just saying nonsense.
Hag? Okay. You got a rebuttal? I can't imagine Shobai saying rebuttal, but here we are.
Rebuttal? Are you really thinking to yourself that you really cracked the case? Let's get straight to the point. You're completely wrong. Full of contradictions. Again. And to marvel at this stupid theory. My, you all have questionable brains, don't you?
What? What part of this is a contradiction? Yeah.
As much as this theory has holes like it's Swiss cheese, the main problem are two big contradictions.
I didn't know Kanade was so obsessed with cheese.
Shobai, you told us that after leaving the pool, we left the body at the station and used the monorails to move it to the ghost house, right? And remind us, whose handbook did we use when entering the ghost house?
You said it was Setsuka's. It doesn't mean you couldn't have brought along her finger. I mean, Emma did that.
And you think that's possible?
I mean, whatever. Isn't it possible? The culprit must have had her handbook ever since she was...
Everyone, you might be able to pass through the gates using someone else's handbooks.
But you can't turn them on.
But only handbooks that are active are valid in this case.
Oh. Shobai? Shit, you're right. I made a mistake. I see. Even if you have Setsuka's handbook, only Setsuka herself can turn it on, or her hand.
What does that matter? We have the same issue with Emma. She just used Kokoro's finger.
No, bro. That was possible because Emma cut and kept Kokoro's fingers. Shobai specifically said that the culprit left the corpse at the station.
They could have still kept her hand, anyway.
According to this theory, you would never be able to turn Setsuka's handbook on at the ghost house.
It takes a long time to arrive at Department A from C, even at running speed.
So are the twins identical? This is actually something I don't remember. Because they obviously dress the same and their hair is dyed the same color. I'm assuming it's dyed. But they're relatively identical, right? Are their fingerprints the same? I don't even know if that's how that works, to be honest.
Even if you use Setsuka's hand to turn the handbook on before you leave, it'll be turned off by the time you reach the ghost house.
You're right. As we discussed in the last trial, the touchscreen lock on the handbook sleep mode requires the owner's fingerprints.
Wait, speaking of Emma, why didn't the culprit use the method Yuki just mentioned? The method Yuki just mentioned? You mean cutting the fingers off and carrying them?
Impossible. Setsuka's wrists were cut off. Her fingers were all fine.
I mean, you could just carry the hand to turn the handbook on.
No, it's probably not it. Then we'd again have the problem of how to carry the body without getting caught.
I found an extra hand.
Even if hands are small compared to the whole body, they still have considerable size, and you're doomed if anybody sees you with it. Or if they bleed, there's too much risk at hand. At hand? What a joker.
Maybe they managed to luckily carry the body without getting caught?
Really? Then let's assume that the culprit somehow solved this issue, and let's go over the next contradiction. Can we really easily go over this issue?
Kanade doesn't want us to find the solution.
Well, actually, we have a much bigger problem here. Shobai said the culprit hid the body parts near the ghost house to wait until Sora left the place.
Wow, that's actually what she said.
And may I ask you, where is that place? How in the world can you find a place to hide 10 body pieces? If there was a pile of body parts near the ghost house, anyone would have noticed it. It would seem unnatural if you hid it all inside a bag. But if you hide them separately, it would take time for the culprit to gather back the pieces. You're not really gonna say the culprit also managed this through luck as well, are you? And if you are, we have our trusty Sora. She searched every nook and cranny near the ghost house. Right, Sora?
Yeah. I searched not only the inside of the house, but the outside as I was leaving the place. If there was a corpse hidden near the ghost house, I would have noticed it right away. No, wait. Maybe it's not the ghost house.
Hide it somewhere other than the ghost house? Poor old Shobai. But we searched every other place as well. Sora, Iroha, and I searched basically everywhere in Department A, so there are no other options, Shobai.
Dude, who do you think I'm suspecting here? If you're saying that you, who I suspect as the culprit, searched Department A, I mean, do we really need to say more? What do you mean? Okay, come on, Tria. Just has to hide the body in the place that she searched in. Easy as that. She's the culprit, and all she has to do is say, there was nothing there.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Shobai. You're saying that the body was hidden at the complete opposite side of the park from the ghost house.
What?
The place I investigated was that area, the storehouse and beyond.
The storehouse. I wonder why.
I really hate to break it to you, little Shobai. That's a bit too far away from the ghost house, don't you think?
You little bit.
Wait, what about that? Is there a problem with it being too far? We can't move the body around when there's everyone running about in Department A, right? The culprit must have moved the body parts at least after Sora left the ghost house, which is 7:36. According to the gate records, the culprit carried the body parts 6 minutes later at 7:42, right?
Oh, so that's it. Ooh. If you hide the body parts too far away from the ghost house, you wouldn't be able to retrieve them in time, within the next 6 minutes. Actually, hold on. I just had a spark in my brain go off. We drank Iroha's coffee and passed out, right? But Iroha is influential to this plan. So who spiked the coffee? That's weird.
Sora even said she looked outside the ghost house, so she would have stayed near 1 or 2 minutes after. So we would only about have 4 to 5 minutes to move the body parts. If you want to move all 10 corpse pieces within that time limit, you would have hit it somewhere close to the ghost house, like the roof.
She didn't look on the roof. I'm just saying. I don't know how you got up there, but hey. Wait, both Miss Older Sis and Younger Sis are in it together, right? So, if they move them together...
I told you! It's impossible even for 2 people. They would have to make 2 round trips if there was an accomplice. Even in the case that we hit it in the nearest storehouse, it's impossible to make 2 round trips within 4 minutes. Unless you have teleportation skills, that is. Teleportation? Then does that mean Mikado is...
Wait, even the rules mention I cannot use magic in murder. You do remember that, right? You haven't forgotten about me, right?
Then what's actually going on here?
How did they get on the roof? I'm so confused. Shobai, is there another way? They went down the chimney, so they had to be on the roof. Or, have, Leon-level throwing skills. See? They're all ignoring you because you made such an idiotic comment. I know the feeling well.
I think they mean they're ignoring you. Be quiet in the peanut gallery over there.
Was Shobai's theory wrong? Kanade definitely has a point here. What kind of method did the culprit actually use? Ghost House Fuse Box, Ghost House Fireplace, Ghost House Gate Records. So it's the fireplace.
It's no use trying to think another way. It would be impossible to move the corpse that fast. And I guess Shobai's theory was wrong.
Wait, that means the culprit actually managed to move the body without using the monorails. The only method to do so is to just hope for the best and not get caught. I guess that's the only solution we have now. But the gate records were rigged, right? If that's the case, the culprit stayed inside for 2 minutes in the ghost house, between 5:55 and 5:57. So they hid the body and cut the fuse during that time. It would still make sense. Sora might have missed the corpse as it was dark inside. After all, there were no other possible time frame that the culprit could have caused the blackout in the ghost house. Let's try and find the contradiction. Oh my god. This is a class trial. We cannot allow the smallest of mistakes. If we consider the inner structure of the ghost house, we might find out what's wrong here. No, that's wrong. I guess I was wrong. I'm sure that'll come up soon, but I guess not there. I'm getting ahead of myself. But you all know that already from how much I'm talking about stuff we're not even talking about yet. Oh, water is good. Nikke, I'm afraid that would be impossible. Why? I get that you have barely enough time, but if you moved at full speed...
Sora's right. 2 minutes is far from enough when you're trying to hide 10 body pieces. And most importantly, the ghost house fuse box is the problem. They opened it to cut the wires, remember? That means they had to visit the innermost part of the ghost house. The fuse box was located just beside the entrance to the altar, and the altar is located innermost in the ghost house. Just going to and fro would take up all your time.
Maybe there's a secret passage that only the culprit knew of.
Thank you for your input, but no.
They could have hidden the body there and gained access to the fuse box as well.
Please, could someone knock some sense into him? There's no way that kind of passage would exist.
I mean, technically it exists, but it's not like he's thinking.
The most crucial thing is, if the culprit entered the ghost house, somebody should have noticed it. So how is it, Iroha? Did my sister enter the ghost house holding something in their hands, or not? What?
Whoa, why are you so flustered?
Well, I just didn't expect to get called on. What did you say? Iroha, it seems like you're not very fond of the fact that you have your head attached to your neck.
Oh.
Would it kill you to please pay attention? You told us you saw my sis entering the ghost house at 5:55. Oh! She was empty-handed. If she was holding a piece of the corpse, I would have recognized it. See? That means we didn't transport the body directly to the ghost house. I can't be the culprit. And as mentioned before, there are too many contradictions to suspect my sister as the culprit.
I have something to inquire, Kanade. You have successfully shown us that you cannot be the culprit, but doesn't that mean that you yourself admit your first theory was wrong? Then now that it's come to this, who do you think the actual culprit is?
That's, well... Honestly, I also need to think this through again. I was so focused on proving my innocence that I haven't come up with another theory yet.
Shobai, how about you? This is the first time you stood up in a class trial. Is there any other theory you'd provide us with?
I know I'm right, just don't know how it works. Damn it. Wait a sec. I just need to clear my thoughts. I missed something. Something big.
Actually, it's quite small. We're very short. Is this... No, it can't be. Our two big brains are stumped. Please give it your all. We're counting on you. This case is honestly so complex that even I can't get a good grasp of it. Oh no. We're doomed. I knew we needed Kokoro. If Kokoro is here, she should have solved the case already. If she just hadn't been killed. Iroha, would you please shut up?
We're all doing our best, but...
I'm tired. I want to go home. Mama, Papa.
Please, would someone clog her mouth or something?
Wow, you're one to talk, Mikado.
We're all gonna die here.
We've been through 2 class trials. Of course, they were all difficult, and we were stumped a couple of times. But this was the first time that our reasoning came to a stop completely. The culprit of this case, who is it? And how did they kill Setsuka? Even Kanade, who's the smartest out of all of us, is having a hard time coming up with a solution. Yeah, because she doesn't want to. A person with no special brains or powers like me would never hope to help everyone in this case.
I got it.
Kanade?
So that was it. Everyone, I know the culprit now.
Really?
Kanade, I knew it. I believed in you. Hooray! I need to thank Shobai for this. Without him, I would have believed without a doubt that my sister was the culprit. Nor would I have realized the gate records had been rigged and my sister was used. So you admit the fact Hibiki's an accomplice? No, my sister wasn't an accomplice. She was just literally used by the real culprit, the poor thing. This case was performed by a single person, a meticulous one at that.
Who is it?
She's gonna say Setsuka, isn't she?
Let me spell out the clues to you. Follow along with me, everyone. First, just as Shobai said, they are left-handed. And they provided us with a false account so that my poor sis would get suspected.
She's gonna say Iroha, actually.
They had an alibi during the parade so they could freely move around the monorail. I'm sure you've all realized who I'm talking about, right?
Somehow I doubt this, but we'll see. Why'd you go all the way around? So confused. It's Kokoro! I guess just to build suspense. The one who matches all those descriptions is Iroha Nijui. It has to be you?
Hooray for Kanade! She's easily tracked down the culprit for us.
Oh, Iroha.
What?
I don't believe this for a second. Maybe I should. Oh, here we go again. It's too early, Monocro. It's too early. We still got half a video to go. There is absolutely no way Iroha is the culprit, in my mind, but we'll see, I guess. I hope this isn't the big twist people were talking about, because that would be very sad for me. It's you, Iroha.
No. Wait. Why am I the culprit? And why this all of a sudden?
Shobai's just like, this is awful.
Then let me explain step by step. Sora, could you show me the pool gate records once more? Firstly, like Shobai said, Setsuka died in the pool in the morning. Iroha called Setsuka to the pool in the morning. So Setsuka enters at 8:44 and Iroha at 8:45. Wait, I never entered the pool. Like, ever. Shut up, you murderer.
Okay.
You used my sister to murder Setsuka, and then blamed the whole murder on me? Now you're gonna pay for it. But I never...
So, then what?
Then she killed Setsuka on the spot, and left the pool at 9:22 to set up the signpost. Then she goes off to gather the tools needed to cut up the body.
So that wasn't Hibiki entering, but Iroha leaving?
Yeah, using Setsuka's handbook. Then Setsuka's ID,
Blah.
would show an out record. She then returns to the pool at 9:54. This time she has her own handbook. Oh, so nobody was in the pool since 9:54.
She's going with the same logic as Shobai, but I don't love her.
She finishes preparing the body for 12:54, and after eliminating any traces left, she escapes the pool using Setsuka's handbook. By doing this, Iroha will leave the pool, but an in-record output will be saved.
Wait, let me get this straight. Shobai's theory was that the corpse was cut up between 12:54 and 5:54, right? And you're suggesting it was instead done between 9:54 and 12:54.
Yes, 3 hours should be just enough time to do the job. And this way, we solve the mystery of why it took 3 hours to just bring the tools. You're right. Shobai's theory was acceptable, but not being able to explain 3 hours is a bit weird.
Then the dismemberment process was already done by 12:54? But doesn't that leave too much time until we find the corpse?
Listen carefully. I'll explain everything. 12:54. Iroha kept all the corpse pieces in one place before leaving the pool. Later, at 5:24, she uses her handbook to in herself to bring the corpse pieces out. And 1 minute later, 5:25, she uses Setsuka's handbook to leave the pool. We can now perfectly explain the gate records of the pool by this logic.
Setsuka, Iroha.
I see.
So it was possible to rig the gate records even without an accomplice. I guess it would have been best for the culprit to create no out records to avoid any suspicion from the pool. But both mine and Shobai's theory have limitations in that regard. I guess there was a reason for the culprit to do so.
Really? Did Iroha really?
Wait, I'm really not the one. I've never heard any of this. Shut up. I'm not done with my theory.
Oh, poor Iroha.
Now the next part. Iroha, who has successfully finished her job at the pool, moves the corpse pieces to the Department C monorail station. Later, she herself runs to Department A.
But that's the same as Shobai's theory.
Wait just a bit on that. Now the important part. After Iroha arrives in Department A, she enters the ghost house at 5:55. Here, it doesn't really matter that much whether she uses her handbook or Setsuka's, but it was probably better to use her own. That way she wouldn't have to worry about the walk thing. I'll explain this a bit later, but as I said before, she goes inside to cut the wires of the ghost house fuse box. And she uses Setsuka's handbook to leave.
Wait. What the hell are you on about? That's exactly what you said was impossible when I said that. Setsuka's hand in the monorail station at Department C. How are you gonna turn her handbook on? I was gonna ask that too, but I guess he was faster. They call me Quick Draw Shobai. Hello? The theory you're trying to propose just substituted the culprit from you to Bubblehead. With everything else, they're basically saying the same thing.
Honestly, can you even hear yourself? You just have to carry the hands, right? You just have to carry the hands, right? But Kanade, didn't you yourself say that was impossible? Yeah, for me. It'd be impossible for Sis, but definitely possible for Iroha. Iroha actually has a pretty handy tool to hide the hands.
And what's that? I was gonna say her hat, but I didn't want to say that. Because I was like, wouldn't the blood get in her hair then?
What? Both Sis and I have no ideal space to carry the hands without being seen. The pockets are too small to shove the hands in, and if we try to hide it within our clothes, it would stick out and seem unnatural. You need to both not be seen and also be able to pull it out whenever needed. This is a case where every minute and second matters. The hand must have been readily available, whenever the situation called for it.
You're suggesting the hiding place was Iroha's hat?
If you put the severed hands on your head and put the hat on top, you could hide them and it wouldn't seem unnatural. Not only that, but you could also pull it out whenever you wanted to turn the handbook on, so it matches every condition I've just mentioned.
Can't we just check her hat for blood?
And technically speaking, Iroha's hat isn't a tool, but an attire she always wears that wouldn't cause any suspicion either.
So, basically, she put the hands on top of her head. Ugh.
Why would I do such a horrible thing?
That's also a new sprite.
Yeah, and the one who entered the ghost house was Hibiki, not me. I saw it with my own eyes. That's exactly why I'm suspecting you, Iroha. If you perhaps lied about seeing my sister, you have no alibi. But I'm not the one. Hibiki, tell her the truth.
She doesn't remember Iroha.
I don't know. I can't remember. Shobai, is there anything left bothering you?
Just check her hat. Jesus. Come on. This is the same thing as Kibo's, what was it? Kibo's ahoge, where you can just knock it off and the whole situation would be diffused.
I'll take that as a no. Then let's continue. Iroha causes a blackout at the ghost house, then moves to Department A's monorail station. When the monorail resumes its operation at 6 o'clock, she rides it back to Department C to move the corpse. This part is the same as Shobai's theory. This is the important part. Iroha must have hid the body parts near the ghost house. The place that I suspect is a small park in front of the ghost house, perhaps in one of the bushes there. Wait, but then we're stuck at the same place as before. You guys searched Apartment A, so if somebody had hidden that kind of stuff... Yes, that's why I'm suspecting Iroha. It was Iroha who investigated the park area.
Oh.
Shobai said it just now, didn't he? That all the culprit has to do is hide the corpse in the place where they were supposed to investigate. Well, I wasn't able to do so because I investigated the place furthest away from the ghost house. The park that Iroha investigated was right across from the ghost house. In terms of distance, she'd have no problems.
She just pretended to investigate and lied about there being nothing, just like Shobai said.
Liar! Liar! Pants on fire! Exactly what part am I not making sense of to you? But it was you who told me to investigate the park area.
Uh-huh.
How was I supposed to know beforehand that you would assign me to that place?
She's actually making good points for once, which is interesting.
Oh, I see. That was my bad. I had no idea you were the filthy culprit back then.
That's still relying on luck, though.
However, even if I told you to investigate some other place, wouldn't you have volunteered to investigate the park?
I don't know.
What? Anyway, Sora investigated near the ghost house, so the only option left for you was probably the park. So that's why you chose that place.
Why didn't she just choose the ghost house then? Like, sure. By that same logic of, oh, I chose the park for you, but you probably would have suggested there anyway if I suggested someplace else. Iroha would just say, no, I want to do the ghost house if she hid the body there. Come on.
It was pretty smart act considering it was coming from Iroha. Here, you want a cookie? No! I said I'm not the culprit. And I don't like the kind of cookies you give me. After that, well, y'all know the drill, right? She hid the corpse and came back to us. And pretended to join in on our investigation. And carried the corpse from the park to the ghost house once Sora leaves the place. That was around 7:42. Since the last time she used the ghost house gate record handbook, she used her own handbook to enter the ghost house. That way, she'd be able to create an ID from around 5:50 without an out record. Also, from here on out, speed is the key. As such, since it'll be difficult to use Satsuka's handbook, she should have just used her own handbook for convenience. That's why I told you before that Iroha would have used her own handbook first. After entering, Iroha prepares the final step to her plan. She puts the body parts on the altar, uses the blood packs to create a bloody mess, and hides the body behind the sliding screen near the entrance. After the body announcement, she pretends like she just entered the place, and voila! From corpse moving to false alibi to false evidence, she did it all by herself.
I guess she hid behind the folding screen. That's what they were saying.
Iroha? No! I told you I'm not the bad guy. Yeah, if seeing Ibiki entering the ghost house was a lie. The hairpin! How can you explain the hairpin from the ghost house? You obviously just stole them beforehand.
Wait, I just got it. I got the reason why they wanted Iroha passed out. It's so that they could claim all this and not have to worry about Iroha actually being around, right? But because that didn't happen, they had to use a different reason to make Iroha suspicious. I feel like this is like the mastermind sort of case, like a Nagito type case where they've thought literally everything beforehand. Anyway, Sister was clearly not herself after the motive reveal yesterday night. Even a toddler would have been able to take it from her. When did I ever have a chance to steal that? You were the ones who told us that she wouldn't come out of her room since this morning.
That was still this morning. I have no idea of where she was and what she did after. I only met up with her again after we found the corpse.
Convenient.
Or do you have any proof you didn't meet my sis during that time?
Well, I can't,
I'm not trying to blame you or anything, but didn't you arrive late after the body announcement? The body was found in Department A, and yet you arrived even after people who were in Department C. Why is that, I wonder?
But that's because I was the only one who didn't receive Setsuka's message. You told me later you received a weird message, right?
That's true.
Yuka was heading towards the ghost house anyways because of that message.
That is true, but based on our observations so far, the message was sent by the culprit as well, right?
What?
Sure. All messages from Setsuka today were sent from the culprit. That is all the more reason the culprit needed to carry Setsuka's hand all the time. As I said before, the only person capable of easily transporting Setsuka's hands is Iroha.
Well, this is...
So Iroha really did?
Shobai, what do you think of this?
Her theory itself has no contradictions. But the fact that the Bubblehead girl thought of a trick this high-leveled, that could be considered a contradiction.
He's right! How could someone as stupid as I am think of a murder this complicated?
You're really saying that to yourself? Oh no. Well, she could have been acting all this time. A wolf in sheep's clothing, if you will.
That's not true! I'm a sheep! Please believe me! I'm fluffy like a sheep.
If you claim you're not the culprit, then where's your rebuttal?
And they picked Iroha specifically, well, one, because of the hat, but two, because they knew that she wouldn't be able to put up a fight in the class trial. The only other person who would be easier to do so with is Ibiki, but they already needed her plan. They already needed her for their plan, so...
This is literally the same situation that we put my sis in. Tell me, what's the difference between you going on about your innocence without any logic to back it up, and sis bawling her eyes out?
Illogical! Nonsense!
I don't like that face. Half of your face is missing.
You're asking to be executed.
Oh no. It seems like Iroha's backed into a corner. Is she really the culprit? Kanade and Shobai did most of the reasoning, and there doesn't seem like there are any contradictions. Then I guess they're right? Come on, Sora.
Silence from both the attacking team and the defenders. Have you come to a conclusion? I'm sure you all know since this is the third class trial, but you can't take back your decision. Now then, everyone, vote for the culprit with the switch in front of you. Will that answer be truth or not? Now!
Objection! Okay.
What? Interrupting the voting again?
What is it, Mikado?
Something was bothering me all this time, and I finally know what it was. I'm not trying to side with Iroha, but I saw something back then.
Oh, did you?
Saw what?
According to Kanade's theory, Iroha should have dismembered the corpse between 9:54 and 12:54, correct? But I saw it. Iroha goofing around painting pictures near the harbor around 11.
What?
It had to come from Mikado, though.
Yeah. I was drawing pictures at the port at that time.
What? Wait, why weren't you investigating?
Well, I thought it would raise my spirits.
This is a very Iroha thing to do.
That isn't the important part. If Iroha was at the port at that time, that makes Kanade's theory completely wrong.
Oh no.
Mikado, I'm sorry for saying bad stuff back then. Thank you for helping me.
I most certainly didn't do it for you.
Now that it's come to this, we're back at square one once again. My, what a troublesome situation.
Wait, can we believe this guy?
And I knew this was coming.
What's wrong, bro?
I mean, how can we tell if that's true or not? It's Mikado of all people. Mikado's always meddled with us. So this time, he might be trying to stop us from getting the answer right.
Excuse me. Why would I lie if I'm getting the answer right? If not getting the answer right also costs me my life.
How should I know? Maybe you're behind all this and did just survive on your own. After all, you're the one who gave us those motive videos, right?
Shinji's right. You seriously saying that after all you've done so far? What makes you think you have the right to speak? Don't speak such nonsense. Iroha was definitely at the pool at that time.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I also can't believe his words that easily. If it wasn't for his account, Kanade's theory is perfect.
Too perfect, perhaps.
But he doesn't gain anything by lying out of this.
If it was anyone else, Shobai even, I would have at least tried to believe it, but Mikado?
Am I that untrustworthy?
Yes.
Of course! You're the mastermind, for crying out loud! Technically speaking, you're the reason we're doing this whole thing in the first place! Just this once. Please believe in Mikado. No, please believe in me. I really am innocent.
I would rather place my trust on dog's droppings than him. Then place your trust in Iroha. How cruel of all of you.
At least take this seriously.
Is Iroha really the culprit? Iroha does seem like she's telling the truth. Of course, it could be her acting. But she's not the ultimate actress, you know? Mikado's saying he saw Iroha in the morning. I should think of something as well. Think of any information regarding Iroha. That could be the missing key to solving whether or not Iroha's the Blackened. Oh, that was interesting. That was weird. Alright, here we go. Which one is this? Oh, this is like... Oh, this is the Flappy Bird clone. Okay. Here we go. So I guess at this point I should be talking about stuff, huh? I honestly don't know. The only thing I have is that I trust Iroha didn't do it this time. Like, I know that's a stupid, like, way to view these cases because the whole point is that it's someone you're not supposed to suspect, but I don't know. It just seems like... I don't know. Everything with Hibiki makes so much sense. Before the parade, when was the last time we saw Iroha? During the motor reveal, during breakfast. Oh, we're about to talk about the coffee, too. And of course there's that. That is what makes, you know, me extra sure it wasn't Iroha, unless she planned to poison herself. Poison. I know it's not technically poison. Drug herself. That's the word I'm going for. Wee. Whoa. Oh man, that's rude. If you pick one of the things in that, you just die. It's mean. I also like how instead of like normal human things like Hajime or Makoto, or I almost said Shinji. Oh my goodness, Shuichi had. Sora's is about space aliens. What did we do with Iroha during breakfast? Watched her painting, had to talk about mangas, drank her coffee. What did we do? What did I do? Sora drank her coffee. I gotta fix my sleep schedule. Ever since like school started, I've been my school's all online this year, obviously. So my sleep schedule's been a bit lax, and by that I mean bad. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm freaking yawning.
I'm already ready for bed.
This game doesn't seem too hard, though. Although, I definitely want Yuri's... It sucks that they tied Yuri's ability to this game to be able to control the ship with the arrow keys. What happened after you drank Iroha's coffee? Turned Super Saiyan. Nothing happened. Suddenly felt sleepy. Yeah, we turned Super Saiyan. I don't know. I think I cut that part out. It was pretty fan servicey, you know. I just didn't see the point in leaving it in.
Now I understand.
Isn't that what they say? I think Hajime says it's all coming together or something like that. But Shuichi definitely said... No, Makoto says now I understand. What does Shuichi say? I don't remember. That was the game I like played for the channel too. You'd think I'd remember that more because I probably would have talked about it. No, that's the end? Oh... God damn it. To think that I was finally this close to ending this trial on this tiresome school trip. Anyways, if you like the content, be sure to like,
Comment and subscribe.
yes. I don't really care about your patrons. Go watch the original video. That person will care more about their patrons. So, is there something at the end here, or is it just people talking about... So yeah, thank you guys all for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, as Monocro has said. Oh boy, I'm concerned. I think this is going to get Iroha off the hook, or at least mostly off the hook, which is good. But I have no idea what the hell is going to happen after that. Like, how are we going to pin this on the correct culprit here? It's either Kanade or Hibiki. It must be, right? In before is just like Shinji somehow. It's like, what? Okay.